Hi, my name is Harsh Gupta. I did my undergraduation in BCom Honors from Hansraj College, University of Delhi in 2019. After that, I worked for a year at my own family business, post which I decided to do MBA from IIM Bangalore. In IIM Bangalore, I did my summer internship for an investment banking role at a vendor's capital.
Hi, my name is Shrestha Das Munshi. I'm currently in my second year of PGP at IIM Lucknow. I did my summer internship with State Street Corporation, which is an institutional bank, and this is me giving my 2 cents on MBA journey and preparation.
Hi everyone, I hope you are keeping safe. I am Ankita Asija. I pursued Bachelor's of Commerce from HGTB Khalsa College, University of Delhi in 2019, and soon after that I joined IIM Bangalore. So currently I am a part of Elite Journal Management Program at GMAT. I am here to answer some of your queries regarding MBA.
Hi, I am Nidhi. I am an alumni of Hansraj College. I did my BSc Honors Mathematics from there. Graduate of 2018 and recent graduate of IIM Calcutta. Majors in Marketing and Strategy from IIM Calcutta and passed out in 2021. Currently working with Accenture Strategy, working on strategy projects, interned with Accenture Strategy.
Okay, so what is the right time to start your CAT preparation? Well, this is more of a subjective question. I would recommend you look at a few factors when making this decision. One of them would be whether or not there is a specific area that you require more help with, that being VRC, LRDI, or the quant section. That's one thing. Another thing would be a trade-off between whether or not you're self-motivated versus whether you perform better under pressure or some sort of time urgency, right? So those are a few factors that you should look at. That being said, I started my CAT preparation in June with the exams being in November. So I had around 2 or 3 months to do like the initial preparation and cover up the syllabus. And then the next 2 or 3 months to focus only on giving mock exams and then having plenty of time to also analyze them. So that was my preparation timeline, so to say. The important thing here is that you should have enough, you should be able to give enough mock CATs and then be able to analyze them, because that I think is the most important thing when it comes to your preparation. And you can look at the other factors to make a decision about when you want to start. And one more thing that you should consider is the fact that if you start too early, then it might be the case that by the time you approach CAT, you might have given so many exams, so many mock exams, that you start to get some negative returns from giving any more exams. So that is another thing that you should probably look at when making your decision.
It can be divided into two parts: self developments like personality development, and other would be technical skills or anything you are interested in. So it actually depends on what person wants and what he or she his ambition is. So if a person is very much interested in marketing, he should actually go and do some certifications in SEO or Google Analytics to enhance his profile in marketing. All right. Or if one feels that he or she lacks in communication, he can do some self-personality development and effective communication certifications, something like that. So it is actually dependent on what the candidate wants, what he lacks, and what he wants to build up. It is a culmination of various different factors. But for when I talk about MBA during these schools, it will actually depend on which field you are trying to get into. Say again, let's take the example of marketing. So you can actually go ahead and do some projects on marketing or do a live project with some companies. Or when I say certifications, you can go for enhanced Google Analytics course. Okay. So things like that. So it actually depends on what you want to do. First, you have to figure out what's your interest in. Second is what you want, what is something that you're lacking that you want to build upon. Or if you're not lacking anything, and then it's purely on your interest and what you want to achieve in future. So that will be dependent on that. So firstly, I say figure out what's your interest in, what's your passion is in, and then go for some certifications in that field.
about what is known as the ideal profile, and does it actually help you getting admissions to the B school of your choice. Okay, so my take would be the societies that you're a part of, the internships that you do, those do not play a big role in you getting an admission in a business school. They do, however, play a role while you're in a business school in terms of your CV preparation, your summer's preparation. That's when these things come in handy, and that's why I would recommend you all to try and go for more society, more positions of responsibilities in these committees, and also to have some internships to back you up during your summer internships at a business school. Now, coming back to the admissions perspective, at the point of interview, the only thing these help in is for you to be able to drive a good conversation with the panelists. So the panelists are looking for people who are motivated, people who can engage in good, healthy conversations. And if you have like a good experience with your committees, if you have done a lot of work, that you can that would add some credibility to what you say, and that would help you in having a very engaged conversation with the panelists, and maybe even impress them with your leadership abilities, with your team skills, and if you have done some good internship, then also with how you have managed to do something very technical or something of that sort. So this is my perspective on how you should approach societies and your internships. Try to get a lot of information out of them, try to get a lot of learning out of them, also have some good sense of the impact that you're creating. And important thing that we talk about in MBA is the so what. So have a good sense of that as well, and I think that is the takeaway that you should have, or the end goal, like I said, you should have in your mind when you're applying for a committee or when you're doing any internship. Another thing that you should have a good focus on is your academics. So consistent academic performance is something that is like highly looked out for by B school admissions and B school like the people who are recruiting for B schools, and thus that is something that you should never like trade off with.
The question which haunts us the most is either to go for CAT or to go for GMAT. So it's a very simple answer. It depends upon your profile, what you want to do, where you want to take admission, and how many years of work experience do you have. So if you are a fresher, it is better that you go for CAT. But on the other side, GMAT gives you a lot of opportunities, like the ISB Young Leader program. So if you are looking to go abroad, maybe GMAT is a better option for you. When you look at going for CAT, you only limit yourself to some of your colleges. GMAT gives you opportunity to not only abroad, but some very good Indian colleges too. So these two exams are very different in nature. You need to know about their exam pattern, how do they test, number of students, your eligibility, as well as your career goals. The most important thing here is what is the purpose of doing the MBA, why you want to go for MBA. So take in mind these things and then decide upon what is best for you. And no exam is good or bad, it's just what is best suited for you. Thank you.
So a very structured way in which you can approach the interview is to divide the entire prep into 5 segments. That is academics, current affairs, HR related questions, hobbies, and work ex. For academics, pick any 2 subjects which you are really confident in and study about them in detail. Also, you need to be absolutely clear about the basic concepts related to your course. So for example, I did my graduation in BCom honors, and even though I'm preparing in detail about subjects like financial accounting and let's say financial management, the interviewer can sometimes ask very basic fundamental questions related to the concepts that we did in class 11th and 12th. So many times we deep dive into the subjects that we did in our undergrad, but we tend to forget the things that we have done in our 11th and 12th. And so it's very important that you are absolutely clear with your basic concepts. Next comes the current affairs. And for that, you can, I would suggest that you start reading the newspaper at least 2 months prior to the interviews. And a business newspaper like Mint or Economic Times is generally preferred. HR questions usually include questions like introduce yourself, why MBA, why this particular college, who is your role model, and things like that. Next, there is hobbies and extracurriculars, which is like self-explanatory. And lastly, work-ex, which is like very important, but there is no set interview pattern which is being followed in every college. So generally, people say that those who have work-ex and those who get a shortlist from IIM Bangalore, their interview is heavily concentrated on the work-ex. Even in that, you need to be aware about the industry in which your company is operating. So the interviewer might not ask you very detailed questions about your particular role in the company, but let's say if you're working for a tax role in a company like KPMG, then he might ask you more about the tax laws that are prevailing in the country, any changes that you want to suggest in the taxation structure, or any announcements that have recently been done in the industry.
All right. So choosing a field in MBA, that's a tricky thing to do, because when you get into a B school, so you do not have a lot of time before your summer placements. So, and in those months, you have to figure out what your interests are, the sectors you want to work in. Well, there is less time, but it is sufficient. Everyone does it. And to go about it, I think firstly you should think what you want to do on your own. Then go and talk to seniors. That's a very critical resource in a big school. Talking to seniors who have worked in those fields. So suppose they're not clear about anything, just go and talk to different people from different sectors. So from finance, consulting, marketing, product management. Go and talk to each of them. Talk about what has been their roles, what was the responsibility they handled. Then there can be things like work-life balance, projects, and future growth, everything. So you try and talk to them, how was their experience? And depending on what your interests are, and also you're subjected to different courses in MBA, so you will also start learning from there. So in the first year, that's when you are subjected to all the courses, finance, marketing, everything. So you also build your interest from the classroom, and then you build your interest by talking to your seniors. So talking to your seniors, that's the most important thing you should figure out. Then you go and look at companies and their profiles, and what kind of roles they have been offered, and also see what all can be done in those particular fields. So it's a lot of things, but if you're not clear, I would say go and talk to people in those fields, go to your seniors, go to talk to them and learn about what they have done, and based on their experience and also what companies are offering, you can decide on which field you want to go.
So what is one thing that you should know at the beginning of your MBA journey? According to me, you should have a good sense of what your end goal is, and all your efforts, they should be targeted towards the result that you want to achieve. Let's take an example. Let's say you want to perform better in VARC, which is a weak area of yours. So when you're analyzing your next mock CAT, see whether the end goal, that is an improvement in your VARC, has been a result of the fact that you have made some better choices in how you attempt and how you attempt the VARC section.
Ideally, everyone should answer this question themselves. But I remember telling to myself that I'm here to learn as much as I can in these 2 years. MBA is going to open a plethora of opportunities for me, and I'm going to make the best use of them for both my personal and professional development.